Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, class 10. Hope you all are fine and safe. So, in the previous lecture, I have almost covered unit number 9 and I have given you some homework. I will ask you at the end of the lecture about that. So, here is a new chapter, that is chapter number 10, and you can see over on your computers or phone that I have shared as page of your book, that is page number 20. So we are going to start a new chapter, that is acids, bases and salts. It's the title you can see on the top of the page. Now these are different three categories. Let's explain with the, just a minute. Okay, these are different three types of things which we will study in chemistry. Number one is acids, number two is bases, and the last one is salts. Now, briefly in this chapter, we are going to discuss first acids, then we are going to discuss bases. We will start discussing that what are the properties, how these can be introduced, what is the basic history, and how it came to know that these are acids, these are bases, and what is salt, how is it formed, what basically salt is. Sometimes it's combination of acid and bases. So we will study inshallah in this unit all about this. So first one, a very little brief introduction, but it's quite interesting as well, and as well a thing to remember as it comes in your exams. Now you can see over here, I have underlined some lines. You can also underline in your books as well, as it is very important, and recently it comes in the paper as a short question in 2020. Okay, so acid, bases and salts, I have told you these are three different classes in which we can classify. Acids are inorganic acids and organic acids. Now what is organic and inorganic? The basic difference is that organic compounds are those compounds which are having carbon and hydrogen as an essential part of it. Means without it, it isn't said that this is an organic compound. Clear? Now what is inorganic? Inorganic is definitely the opposite of organic. You can say the things which does not have carbon and hydrogen are known as inorganic compounds. This concept basically is a very old one concept. Many new advancement has come and it has changed. But at this point of view, at 10th class, it is important to think just that organic is this and inorganic is this. Now coming towards the history, there was a scientist which was known as a Muslim scientist. Many of you have listened the name Jabir bin Hayyan. Jabir bin Hayyan was a Muslim scientist who basically prepared three acids. Number one was nitric acid. It's written in your book. You can see HNO3 is the formula. Sulfuric acid, H2SO4, which is also known as king of chemicals, and another HCl, hydrochloric acid. These three chemicals, these three acids were introduced by a Muslim scientist named as Jabir bin Hayyan. Okay, this is really very important. You should know and learn it by heart. Now what happens, this is the very brief history, that in 1787 Lavoisier named binary compounds. Binary compounds means the compounds which have two molecules in it. Binary means two. Binary compounds of oxygen, such as carbon dioxide, means one is carbon and the other is oxygen. Binary compounds of oxygen, there are two molecules of oxygen. Similarly, sulfuric acid, and sulfur dioxide, in which there are more than one oxygen atom. So as acids which dissolve in water, and what happen, they give acidic solution. These are different eras, that in this era means time period. In this time period this invention was happened, in this time period this invention was happened. After that we will study some theories that on which you can rely that which one is correct. Now it was about 1787. Coming towards 1815, you can see Sir Humphrey Davy discovered that there are certain acids which are without oxygen. Means this is the limitation of the above one. One scientist give the theory. He says the acids are those compounds which have more than one oxygen atom. But what happens after some time in 1815, a person came and he says, no, you are wrong. The theory is that there are some acids which are acids, but they don't have the oxygen. Means just look at the example HCl. It doesn't have any oxygen atom, but it is still acid. It means he is true. It is truth till now. We consider HCl as a very strong acid and it doesn't have any oxygen. Now Davy proved it. The presence of hydrogen is the main constituents of all acid. It was discovered that all water soluble metallic oxides turn red litmus blue. Now this is a very important you can say property and identification test of an acid, that whenever all of you must be familiar with the litmus paper. Litmus paper is just a strip of paper. It's in your lab as well available, that when you put it in acid, it definitely changes its colors to blue. That is the indication of acid and bases. This is a very simple test we can do for acids and bases. Now you can say that when the litmus paper turns red, it is acid, and when it turns blue, it is base. This is the theory which is applicable nowadays, which is also a modern days theory as well. Now it is also says that the word acid is derived from acidus. Acidus means very salt, khatta taste hona jiska. Just like you just take a bite of lemon, you will definitely feel a very kind of salt taste. That is an acid kind of acid. Similarly, if you just smell vinegar, just it will tell us that it contains acetic acid and it's quite acid. So the first acid known to man was acetic acid. Acetic acid is present in vinegar. It is a very mild kind of acid that it is not going to affect. That's why we add it in as a flavor. Now I am sharing another page, next page with you. Just it was all about, the previous one was all about the history, and now we are going to start the basically what is acids, what are the concepts of acids, how many concepts were there, which one has the limitations, and what is the cure of that, then which theory came. Now coming towards the first one, we all just to explain on a very nominal basis, I will explain you that uh, just in our stomach there are different kind of pancreatic juices that are producing, and that helps to chew and after that to digest the food. Similarly, we have very small amount, very trace amount. Trace amounts means 0.001%. It can be value into 0.00 or more than that. We have very less concentration of hydrochloric acid in our stomach. Okay, that is the thing. Whenever we take something that is not easy for digestion, acidity is produced in our stomach and we feel really very bad for that. So the reason behind is that the acid is already present in our stomach, which basically helps to break down the food into smaller particles and to dissolve it and to digest it. But what happens when it is too much, the food which you are taking, it already has too much, like soda drinks and the things like that, it produces more acidity and it will upset your stomach. So what happens, as a result, we will take different kind of medicines. Now in medicines there are different kind of salts. When you have much acid in your stomach, the salt will help out and it will become a neutralized reaction, and it will become definitely a salt and you will feel relief. Okay, in the start of chapter I have told you that when acid and bases are going to react, they form salts. Similarly, this reaction is going to be happened in our body as well. Okay, now so this is written in your book as well. You can see after that, just have a look over there. Now there are concepts of acids and bases. You can see this is really very important question coming in the exams from last 4 years in different types of years. Now if it comes in your paper, you have to write down that acids and bases, you have to draw a margin line and you have to start writing that number one property. What is, I have told you previously that whenever you get a taste, if it is sour, it means it is acid. For example, when you take unripe citrus fruits, unripe means kache phal, like mango, If it is not ripe properly, it's not sweet. It's definitely the other kind, which we use to cooking for purpose cooking food, unripe citrus fruits or lemon juice. The number two property is that I have told you that they turn blue litmus paper into red. The third property is they are corrosive in concentrated form. Concentrated form, very thick. The original position, the original concentration in which that acid is formed, it is very corrosive in nature, means it can causes very much destruction. Just like if we put a metal wire in concentrated acid, it will get badly corrode. Zang aa jayega us pe. It is highly corrosive. Number four, their aqueous solutions conduct electric current. Aqueous solution means the solution which is made up in water. It is highly, you can say, they conduct electric current. Just like you can see the examples. I am here, I am just highlighting it like this. You can say that conduct the batteries of UPS that contain acids, and they are made to be aqueous so that the passage of electricity can be cleared. Some acid amount is added in our UPS batteries, in which different terminals are going to be connected. Now coming towards bases, bases is totally opposite to acids. Like number one, what kind of taste it has? They have very bitter taste and feel slippery. It's just like the soap which you hold in your hand. It's like totally pure example of base, sodium hydroxides. The appearance seems to be very slippery, and when you can hold it, it also seems to be slippery in touch. And the second thing, definitely opposite to acid, that they turn red litmus into blue. Now, they are non-corrosive, means they are not going to be corrode themselves, except concentrated forms of sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide. Let me know you that sodium hydroxide is really very dangerous for your skin. These are different pellets, छोटी छोटी सी गोलियां होती हैं, but if you try to keep them into your hand, you will definitely get a burn. छाले बन जाते हैं आपके हाथ पर. So it should be very carefully handled. We use spatula or some instrument to hold it. So these are very much concentrated forms. Number four is their aqueous solutions conduct electric current as well, both, but more stronger is acid, as you can see the example of UPS batteries. Now, coming towards that, how many concepts of acid and bases we are going to study now? That basically there were three kinds of concepts. Number one was Arrhenius concept of acids and bases. Number two was Laurie Bronsted, and the number three, which is applicable nowadays, is Levi's concept or Levy's concept, you can say. We have studied in class 9 as well that what is Levy's concept of bases and acids, but in this chapter we are going to elaborate it more. So coming towards the first one says that Arrhenius was the name of a scientist who gave this concept in 1787. Now, if this question comes into your paper, this is an important question, come as long question in 2020. So what you will write down? You will first write down that Arrhenius was a name of a scientist who introduced this concept, and the year was 1787. According to him, he explained acid on different bases, and he explained bases on different bases. Now, acid, what he gives the definition of acid. He simply said whenever we take a thing, whatever thing we just put the solution of water, and if it dissolves and gives us H positive ions, means hydrogen ions, it is acids. And if that thing dissolved in water gives OH negative ions, it means it is base. This was the very simple and general concept given by Arrhenius. Now we are going to study it. The definition says in your book is that acid is a substance which dissociates. Dissociate means dissolve ho jana, different हिस्सों में टूट जाना. Dissociates is more precise terminology, and you have to use in your definitions and in chemistry terms. Okay. Acid is a substance which dissociates in aqueous solution. Aqueous solution, the solution which is made in water to give hydrogen ions, is known as acid. Now there is a general example. You can see in your books that this is the general example for Arrhenius concept, which says Ha. AHA means this is the thing which you are going to be dissolved in water. When it is dissolved in water, it gives H positive and A negative ions. It means it has acid because AH positive is present over there. Now there are some examples. Substances such as we are giving the example of our HCl, HNO3 and acetic acid and hydrogen cyanide. Now when we make a aqueous solution of these acids, what happens? Definitely H positive. Now you can see the first one, HCl. When you dissolve in water, what happens? This one you can see the H positive ion is going to be formed. This one. Similarly, HNO3 dissolved, it is also giving us H positive. And acetic acid CH3COOH is known as acetic acid, which is present in vinegar. When it is dissolved in water, it dissociates into two ions, that is CH3COO negative and H positive, which means it is also considered as an acid by Arrhenius concept. I have highlighted H positive ions so that you came to know for which thing they are talking about. Now coming towards on the other side, this was the definition. You just explain it, that the thing which gives H positive ions when you dissolved in an aqueous solution is known as acid. Then you are supposed to write down the general equation for that, which I have highlighted fully. Then you have to mention that these are the examples by giving the heading of different acids. First of all, HCl, you have to write down H positive. These signs are very important and these should be written as superscript, not subscript. H के ऊपर आपने plus का छोटा सा निशान डालना है, that is showing that it is H positive. It should not be equivalent to H. It is just like a superscript, very little one. And you have to show that these are the acids. Now coming towards the base, what does it say? The base is obviously opposite to acid. The thing which is dissolved in aqueous solution gives OH negative ions is a base. So definition says that base is a substance which dissociates in aqueous solution to give hydroxide ions. Coming towards the next page. Okay, it's over here now, page number 22. If you have any difficulty in video or screen sharing, you can also open your books for more clearance. Okay, the general ionization, as we have written the general ionization equation for acids like HA. Similarly, we will write down the equation for base as well. That states that BOH means you have to exclude the sign of OH. BOH is a base which will dissolve in the water to give B plus, and this is the equation which I am highlighting it. Okay, B plus and OH negative ions. Now similarly we have to give the examples, as we have given the example in acids, we have to give the examples over here as well. Now the substances such as sodium hydroxide, sodium is NaOH. Now being in the 10th class, you must know the symbolic form as well, formulas and the names as well. I am going to read it for you. You can also check it out. Sodium hydroxide NaOH, potassium KOH, potassium hydroxide, then ammonium hydroxide NH4OH, then calcium hydroxide CaOH twice. All these have OH and definitely these are considered to be bases. Now just give the reaction. This is sodium hydroxide. When it is going to be dissolved in water, it dissociates into sodium ion plus and OH negative. Calcium hydroxide, this is calcium Ca. So plus 2 will come over here. OH2 का जो 2 है वो उसके ऊपर plus 2 के sign के ऊपर चला जाएगा. This is the way we calculate the formulas. So there will be 2 hydroxide ions which are going to be dissociate. So it shows that sodium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide are bases. And this, according to concept, this is the general thing. Acids give H plus ions in water, while bases gives OH negative ions in water. This was the very precise definition given by Arrhenius, and this was the explanation of all. So you can also see there is a table of acids and bases. You should learn it. Very, very easy. Number 1 acid, HCl, hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, and phosphoric acid. These are very, very strongest acids in the world known so far. The bases, these are very strong bases as well. Sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, and aluminium hydroxide. You should keep this thing in your mind, like aluminium hydroxide, ALOH3. It's not 2. So Please keep this thing in your mind while writing the formula. Be very careful that what is the valency and how it is going to be exchanged. You have already studied in class 9. So please keep this thing in your mind that the formulas can also come into your exam. So please be prepared for that. Now, this was the basic concept about acids and bases. Now there are many limitations. Limitation means drawbacks कि ये चीजें लोगों ने accept नहीं की थी. With the passage of time they started saying no, this is not the accurate definition, we should work on that. So Arrhenius ने तो अपना बता दिया that this is this and this is this thing base. Now what are the limitations? Let's have a look on that. There are few limitations discussed in a book. Number one limitation is that it is also very important. You can see it 2019 and 2020 as a short question. It comes in your paper that write down any two shortcomings, limitations, drawbacks of Arrhenius comments. Shortcomings, limitations, and drawbacks. These are three words which can be used in your questions and you should not be worried about that. This means limitations कि ऐसी क्या वजूहात थी, क्या बातें थी जिसकी वजह से नया concept लाया गया. Now the first one, you will definitely agree with me that this concept is applicable only in aqueous medium, because whenever he says in aqueous solution it is dissolved. What about those things which are not going to be dissolved in water? Just like you take let's say I will give you the example of petrol. What about that? Is it acid or base? You will mix in the water. It will never ever get dissolved in the water. Then how we can identify is it acidic or basic? So this is a very, very big limitation that limitizes us this concept only towards aqueous solution. It does not explain at all the nature of acids and bases in non-aqueous medium as well. Now, the number two, according to this concept, acid and bases are only those compounds which contain hydrogen and hydroxide ion. Now, what about those which don't have H positive and OH negative? As in the start of chapter, I have told you that inorganic and organic, there is a major difference. Now, what about the inorganic which doesn't have any hydrogen ion? What about that thing? Either they are basic or acidic. So this concept Arrhenius doesn't explain at all that what about those things. For example, he didn't explain the nature of compounds like carbon dioxide, ammonia, and either they are going towards acidic side or basic side. So for this reason, these two reasons, this concept was ruled out. It is not applicable. We are studying it just as the history, but this concept is not at all applicable nowadays. So for this purpose, there was another concept which was known as Bronsted-Lowry concept came, and it was a concept come in 1923. Bronsted and Lowry. Basically, they were two chemists, Bronsted and Lowry, who gave the concept. They both collaborate with each other, and after that, the Danish chemist Bronsted and English, it's the nationality English chemist Lowry independently presented their theories of acids and bases on the basis of proton transfer. Now, if I ask you a question, you should know the answer. The question is that on which base Arrhenius concept was come forward? Answer is on aqueous solution, aqueous medium. So what happens in Bronsted-Lowry? They give the concept on the basis of proton transfer. And other page I am sharing. Okay, you can see it's page number I think 23. Now what happens according to this concept? What does it say? Now proton transfer, I think yeah, in your class 9 you have studied that what is proton. I have told that H positive is known as proton. So an acid is, it's written the definition that an acid is a substance, molecule or ion. It can be a molecule, it can be an ion that can donate a proton to another substance. Means that has the ability to give its H positive to the other one is known as acid. Lowry Bronsted had given this idea. And what this does say that a base, what is a base now? They says that base is a substance that can accept a proton. Obviously, when someone is donating H positive, then there should be a donor. The donor is known as base, and the given one is known as acid. So the substance which can accept a proton is known as base, and which can donate a proton is known as acid. It was a concept given, यानी प्रोटॉन की बेस पे हो गया ना, एक ने प्रोटॉन दे दिया दैट इज एसिड, जिसने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया उसको दैट इज बेस. तो किस चीज में हम बात कर रहे हैं? हम बात कर रहे हैं प्रोटॉन को देने पे, प्रोटॉन बेस ट्रांसफर. It is going to be transferred from one to another, that is acid, and the accepting one is base. This was the definition of acid and base according to Lowry-Bronsted concept. Now coming towards you can see I have written 2013. It has come as an MCQ in your papers, so keep this thing in your mind that a dash is a substance that can accept a proton. Be very clear, acceptance is a base, donation is an acid. You can write down keywords near your books as well, so that it will be easy whenever you open the book, you find the keywords and just get it. Now for example, there is an example of HCl. HCl, I am highlighting, okay. HCl acts as an acid while NH3 means ammonia act as a base. How? Look, it's at the equation. It's HCl, aqua solution, and we mixed with just ammonia. What happens? Ammonia, NH3, accepts one electron. Look, NH3. But what happens? It becomes NH4 positive, means one hydrogen acceptance from HCl. यहाँ से एक हाइड्रोजन इसने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, दैट बिकम्स NH4 पॉजिटिव, और पीछे अकेला क्या रह गया? क्लोरीन. एंड ऑब्वियसली यू नोस दैट द आयन is negative. So this is the example where HCl is an acid which is donating the proton, and NH3 is a base which has the tendency to accept that H positive and becoming ammonium ion. NH4 positive is an ammonium ion. Now another example, when HCl is acting as acid and H2O is acting as base. How? When these are going to react, conjugate acid H3O plus means H2 is converted into H3. It means that HCl has donated one electron and H2 has accepted it. So it becomes H3O positive, and the conjugate base remaining is chlorine. Similarly, it is, you can say, a reversible reaction, and in the forward reaction you are seeing that an acid is HCl is an acid and it donates its H positive proton. So जो water है, water becomes a base and it accepts a proton. But what happened in reverse reaction, in the opposite reaction, as we discussed in previous chapters? What happened in reversible reaction? A reverse reaction, the chlorine ion is an acid, and a chlorine ion is a base as it accepts a proton from acid H3O positive, and again it converted into HCl and H2O. Mean the reaction is reverse reaction where HCl is acting as acid. It will donate one electron. In the forward reaction become hydronium ion and chloride ion. जब हम इसको reverse reaction में देखेंगे, what happens? This chlorine will accept one hydrogen ion from this conjugate acid and it will convert it into HCl, and the remaining will be base. So here comes the concept of conjugate acid and conjugate base. Now coming towards the definitions, it means every acid produces a conjugate base and every base produces a conjugate acid. You can see in the equation that HCl is producing a conjugate base, Cl, H plus accept by base, and base is producing acid, opposite to each other. Acid is producing, you can see a conjugate, acid is producing conjugate base, and base is producing conjugate acid. You can also highlight it. It means every acid produces a conjugate base and every base produces a conjugate acid, such that there is conjugate acid base pair, means pair up हो गए आपस में, opposite हो गए. Now conjugate, what is the meaning of conjugate? Means joining, attached with each other. Now definition, quite important. A conjugate acid is a species formed by accepting a proton by a base. conjugate acid कैसे बनेगा? base से. जब उसने क्या करना है? accept कर लेना है एक proton को. just like H3O positive accept किसने किया? base ने. वही बात. A conjugate acid is a species formed by accepting a proton accepting a proton by that. And a conjugate base is a species formed by donating a proton by an acid. It is very, very important. Just read it by yourself and keep this thing in your mind, that how you have to write down it opposite. It's very easy. Thus, conjugate acid base pair differs from one another by a single proton. Now, there is an example of acetic acid in your book, that acetic acid is going to be reacting as acid, CH3COOH, and water is base. When they are going to be react with each other, what happens? Conjugate base CH3COO negative will form and hydronium ion is formed. Over here, you can see that according to Lowry-Bronsted concept, an acid and a base always work together because they have to transfer a proton. One will donate and the other will accept. As a result, what happens? Acid will form a conjugate base and base will form a conjugate acid, which in reverse form acid and bases. So we can say the thing which is acid in the start will become conjugate base, and the base which was in start will become conjugate acid at the end in the reverse reaction. Now another example, that water acts as a base and ammonia, uh, for example, water acts as a base when it reacts with HCl, as stated above, as an acid when it reacts with ammonia. Now there is an example that when we put ammonia into water, ammonium ion is going to be formed and water acts as an acid and ammonia acts as an base, which will have the tendency to accept H positive ion. So such a substance that can behave as an acid as well as a base is called amphoteric. Now there is a new terminology introduced, that there are some compounds we can say this is acid, this is base, but what about the compounds which show the both behaviors? Like you can see ammonia is behaving like a base, the most character is basic, but when it is reacting with water, it is behaving like a acid. So these kind of compounds are known as amphoteric. It is this amphoteric that are in between both these properties. So it has been observed that there are certain substances which behave as acids, though they do not have the ability to donate the protons. Like sulfur trioxide, it doesn't have the ability to donate the protons, but still it behaves like a base, acid. So it is the concept of Lowry-Bronsted, and it will definitely show that there are some also limitations about that. Now you can see there are some limitation we will discuss in the next lecture. Now for today, your homework is that uh, you have to write down on your registers. I'm giving you the question. The question is define, uh, or you can say write down 4 major differences between acids and bases. It can come into your question short answers, or you can also set to be write down that what are the characteristic properties of acids and bases. You have to write down. Then there is a question can come, Arrhenius concepts of acid and bases, and you have to describe its limitation with examples as well. And you have to write down the other question is that what is Bronsted-Lowry concept and how it can be applicable towards conjugate acid and bases. This is your homework and you have to complete it. Still now, if you have any question regarding previous chapter, any numerical, any problem, you can ask me. You have to do it till Friday. I will ask before your class started. And if you have any query, you can ask. I will send your homework on WhatsApp as well. So if you have any question, you can unmute and please ask the questions. Thank you.